All right. I have to set the stream name on purpose. I mean, manually. I don't want to support the stream monkey. I'm taking that out of here. Okay. Anyone? Save. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're ready. Sorry about that. Okay, 720p. I'm at T's place. I'm in the karaoke room, and I got the karaoke turned off. But there are customers in the room next door, so you may hear them. I hear male singing and female singing. But right now, it's mysteriously quiet. Hi, everybody. Got some fried eggs here. And I did another rum infusion today. Took a few days off with that. Wonder how everybody's doing. We have the same Streamlabs settings this time as we did last time, with the comments burning to the stream. There's no way that I know to what is full preview? I want to see what full preview is. Okay. I see. Oh, I go like this and it goes back out. Okay. Well, that's cool. Hey, it actually shows my my speed. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that. Hi, everybody. I think we got one viewer just joined us. Hey, you got notified today. Well, that's encouraging. And we still have our comments burning to the screen. Let me talk about that just for a second. Our good friend Dave. Oh, by the way, can you see the stream speed up there? It says 3,500 kbps. I wonder if you can see that. It should be like right up here. I don't know if that's a preview or if it's burned into the stream. But Dave pointed something out to me the other day, that if anyone is ever looking at my stream, I mean, really the playback. Yep, you see your own comments and me. That's good. Okay, thank you. Then that's just for me. That's a preview. If someone's viewing in low res, the comments are going to be hard to see. And I noticed that, you know, it depends on what the background is, right? Whether you know what I'm saying, and the colors. I'm thinking, even though most of my viewers said they don't think the comments need to be boxed in, I think I'm gonna box them in after this stream, just to try a test and see what they look like, because I can't be sure that the comments will be visible under all circumstances, you know what I mean? If I box them in, it puts them in a space that, so it doesn't matter, you know, what's behind it. That's why Periscope does that. They've got the white letters over the little, I guess it's a gray box. I don't know, I don't remember. Makes them visible at all times, yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the next stream, because I noticed in the playback some of the comments last time. Hey, how's it going, Bernardo? I'll say hi to you and Henry. And the thing is I noticed last time that some of the name tags, you know, the person's name. Like there was a purple color and some other colors were kind of a little bit dark. It's hard to see. Now I think tonight should be okay. This is kind of dark in here in my shirt. Now for me, it's on the other side. So let's do that. On the next stream, let's put it in those little boxes and see what it looks like. Now the thing about the box is, the box will go all the way over to the extent of the chat box width that I have. And the chat box width, I think, is about this wide. It's, well, it's, you know, it's all the way over to the edge of the phone, so it'll be like that. And then it's about halfway. So that will, I think that will be the length of the whole box. Boy, she's good. T's lady friend can really cook. And she makes those eggs about as good as our friend Mr. Dew. Now I made another bottle of rum. It's really dark, it's red. You can see how red it is with cinnamon. No coffee in this one, just cinnamon. So how you gentlemen doing? Bernardo? Bernardo, did you ever get any more Old Monk? And Henry, how are things with you? It's good to have you gentlemen with us tonight. Oh. Hear the song next door? Hey Matt, how you doing? All right. Watching skiing. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. Hey Dave, Dave and Osaka's here with us. Dave, how you doing? Matt, Dave, nice to see you guys. Oh, it accurately shows how many people we've got viewing. Four viewers. Wow, look at this. Periscope, it's not, but I tell you, excuse me. But I am liking the quality. I'm liking the low latency. The latency's pretty low. We can do a latency test if you want. I'm liking the comments, how they look on the screen. But Dave, I was just saying a few minutes ago, Henry, I haven't seen it yet. Wen went away to Vietnam for about 2 weeks. I only saw her the other day for like 3 minutes. She was super busy. So let me check with her. I'll try to get to her tomorrow and check with her. But yeah, it should. And if we got it, excuse me, I'm burping. If we got it, I'm definitely going to show it on camera because we got Bernardo's second postcard. I didn't show that on camera yet either. So, but thank you, Henry. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Now, what Dave said the other day, Dave's absolutely correct. And I said this at the beginning of this broadcast before you were in, Dave, that if anybody's looking at the broadcast or the replay in low res, it kind of makes the comments fuzzy. So I think I'm going to do two things. I think I'm going to make them a little bit bigger, although it may be invasive. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger, and I am going to put them in a box so that they're uniform background color, so it doesn't matter what, you know, what's going on in here. Because I want to be able to do some scoping during the day and, you know, show you guys some new stuff at high res on YouTube Live, and not have to worry about it being washed out. So, you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Did you overindulge? But yeah. My friend Ashish has a new bottle of Old Monk for me. And I need to go get it. But I don't, you can understand that I don't want to go over and just go, hey Ashish, how you doing? Hey, grab the bottle and say, okay, I'll see you later. I want to go over and visit, or I want him to come over to my house and visit, you know, I want to hang out. So, and what we used to do was, we used to ride together. I bring my recumbent trike in my van up to Sancha, where he lives, and I unload it from the van, and we would drive like, I mean, we would ride like maybe 20, 25 kilometers, not too far, and have a nice morning workout, and then he would like give me Old Monk or whatever he had to, you know, to share. So yeah, I got to do that. But he can't ride anymore because he's got a new gig where he has to be on call and monitor. He has to be next to a computer all the time and a phone because he's got to do software support. Can you guys hear the karaoke next door? Boy, my face looks really red in this light. Super red. My hands aliens too, but it's not. It's just the light. Could be a monster movie. Anyway, so I think what was okay, Dave, thanks. Henry, who are you asking? If you're asking me, I don't celebrate Christmas, so I didn't do anything. It was Constitution Day. I left all that stuff behind years ago. We don't actually, in this neighborhood, there isn't anything at all that would even let you know that Christmas exists at all in this neighborhood. Because there's no big department stores and stuff. At the department stores, you'll see a tree or something, but they don't know what it means or anything. So. Some of the expats do that. Some of the expats in Hsinchu City and in Jubei City will pool their resources and do dinners and stuff, and that's just not my thing. That's just my personal excuse me, custom is not to celebrate them. So no, they're not at all. No, and well, this is a small neighborhood. The concept, no, this is a really small neighborhood, and when the bloggers come, or the bloggers, when the periscopers come here in January, you know, JL and them, and with Caspar, we can talk about that, because we're probably going to go around the neighborhood and I'll show them the neighborhood. But no, it is completely off the radar. We just had somebody else join. How you doing? Nice to have you with us. But yeah, it's I'm going to be completely honest with you guys about this, and that I enjoy the holiday and sports vacuum that I have here. I am not into sports either. I can't stand, you know, the World Series, the Super Bowl, the whatever it is, the Stanley Cup playoffs, or whatever the heck they got, because I don't even know who these teams are or what they do. And it's like, you know, around Super Bowl time, for somebody who isn't into football, it's annoying, okay? And for people who aren't into baseball, you know, the World Series time is annoying. And I really like the vacuum here. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Nice to have you with us. And so I enjoy that vacuum here, you know, where I'm not constantly bombarded by these things. And especially in this neighborhood. This is a really, really small neighborhood. Anybody who's visited here, hopefully Dave will be coming to see pretty soon. And I hope Henry can get over here. Actually, any of you guys want to come over. We'll come over here to T's place and drop some coin in the machine. So, yeah. Now, Henry, I understand. My wife likes baseball. I'll sit down. I've never actually watched any game from front to end. I have never any kind of game ever, except pool. I think I watched some 9-ball games from front to the beginning. But like, I've never gone to a football game from the beginning to the end, never gone to a baseball game from the beginning to the end, where I actually watched it. I have been to Fenway Park, and all I did was talk to somebody. I didn't watch the game. And I've heard that before from Europeans, that they don't get American football. Of course, football is soccer, what we call soccer in America. And so that's what, you know, that's true. And I will say this, Henry, you're absolutely right. Taiwan is big on baseball. I want to surprise my wife and bring her to a baseball game here in Taiwan. And they have Westerners playing on the Taiwan teams too. And some of them are really good. And there are some restaurants that I go to. See, I recognize that baseball is a difficult game to play. So I recognize that these people are extremely talented and skilled, and they've been training for a long time. I'm not, you know, blowing it off or anything. I'm not saying they're idiots or whatever. I'm just saying I'm not interested. That's all I'm saying. But I'll be in a restaurant. There's a restaurant that my family goes to called the Zebra, and they always have Elta TV on, which is a channel that has high resolution sports, and most of the time it's baseball when we're going there. And you know, I'll be eating, and I'll look up and I'll see them do some incredible play, you know, like a what do you call that when you get 2 outs, you know, in one shot, like that, like, anyway, I forget, a double something. I don't even know what it's called. And they'll, you know, like they'll throw it, the batter will hit, outfielder will catch it and then throw somebody out at first or second, you know, that kind of stuff. And there's really fast pace. My wife likes baseball. And the cool thing is in our car we have digital TV and we have a fold down screen for the back seat. So sometimes during baseball season, without my wife asking me to, and we're driving around, especially if we're going, you know, a little ways, we got going to be in the car for 45 minutes or an hour, I'll go to one of the digital TV stations that has a baseball game and I'll put it on for her and she really likes it. So yeah, I can understand why people like it, why people watch it. It's just not for me. It's not my thing. And I've got a history too. In high school, the jocks versus the hippies. I'll never forget that. You know, I had long hair in high school because I considered myself a musician. I played in a band in high school. And I didn't take drugs. I didn't smoke pot or anything, right? Can I talk about room acoustics when recording sound and videos? Yes, I can. And the football coaches used to encourage their jocks to beat up guys like me because we had long hair. Room acoustics. For doing like videos, you know, casual stuff, you don't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on room treatment. But you're an amateur, like live streamer, or you're doing amateur video productions. You know, the magic number is 50-50. You want to have 50% absorptive materials and 50% reflective materials. And the idea is random. Now, what I mean by random is I don't mean things evenly spaced apart. I mean literally random. And when things are random, sometimes there's clusters, sometimes there's not. If you want to treat a room, there are a couple interesting things you can do. Most of these rooms, you know, you're using like a bedroom or something in your house, right? And the room's going to be square or rectangular, but the point is it's going to have right angles. Put curtains in the very corners. The curtains in the corners will go a long way towards dampening some of the standing wave problems. Another thing that you can do is, it's kind of hard to find nowadays, but styrofoam. Find, you know, busted coolers and I don't know what, pieces of styrofoam. Sometimes you can go to the city dump in your town and you can get some of these materials back. Just take styrofoam and break it. Bust pieces up so they're rugged and they're all random and glue them on the wall. Empty egg boxes. Yes, but empty egg boxes also are uniform. So, excuse me, they're not exactly 100% absorptive. They do reflect some sounds. And if you have too many of them, you can set up standing waves with them. But yeah, that's not bad. What you can do is you can take something like Flex Seal and spray it over the top of that and put like a rubber coating on it. That's not bad. There's a material called Sonex that people use, but the idea, sometimes people make the room too dead. They'll hang carpet on, you know, all 4 walls and the ceiling and the floor, and the room is dead. That's not good either. You want to have 50-50. Now, if you want to look at something really cool and you want to read something, look. It's a mosquito. Look up the LEDE system, the live end, dead end system. That was a recording studio concept by a guy named John Stork. And I actually recorded in John Stork's first LEDE live end dead end studio that he ever designed and built. That was in Balinese Studio in Long Island. It was a really nice studio. And the control room was time, energy, frequency aligned. It was really great. But one end of the studio is live and one end of the studio is dead. If you've got a long rectangular room, you know, you may be able to trick that room out so it is live, more live on one end, more dead on the other end. And then depending what you're doing, you can move your mics either end to record whatever it is that you need to do. If you're doing like a drum kit, you know, you might want to put it in the live end. If you're doing something that you want a little bit more control over, like maybe close miking a vocal, then you move to the dead end. So like that. Get ringing. Probably what you've got, Mike, is what we call standing waves. The rooms are parallel, right? The rooms are parallel and perpendicular. And so that might be the problem. I assume it's a room in the house, like a bedroom. Is it square or rectangular? I assume, right? One thing that we used to do in the old days was when we had like studs in the ceiling, we would put insulation with the cotton side out, not the foil side, with the cotton side out, and then we would put burlap over it, and we would just staple it on the rafters, you know. We used to make things called splays. They're just basically baffles. You can take, let's just say, for example, you get some 2x4s, and hey Rob, how you doing? You get some 2x4s and you make a square frame, and you cover it with one side with a piece of sheetrock, and the other side you stuff it full of insulation with a cotton side out, and then you staple burlap over that. So you've got this panel, and what do you do if you let me see if I can describe this. If you make a clamshell of it, you make two of these panels. I'm looking at the top of it, and you got a clamshell with wheels on the bottom of it, okay? And then you can fold it like this, make a V or whatever, and it won't fall over because, you know, they're together with hinges. It's hard to articulate, but if I could draw a picture, you'd know what I mean. Anyway, you fold the splays up, you lean them against the wall, then when you need them, you can go like this, and you can bend them all around to the other side. So you've got one side that's dead and one side that's live. And it's, you know, like with the sheetrock, or you could use gypsum board, or you could use a piece of plywood if you want to. So the 2x4s, you know, are only going to be that thick. So you just put one layer of insulation in it and some burlap over it and tack it on. And it makes a really, really effective sound deadener. If you want to do something up close, if you want to have like if you make these things like yay high. So, make these things yay high, and then you can put them around like an acoustic guitar player, you know, and really isolate them. Or you could put the live side against a drummer and keep the sound energy, you know, in where the drummer's playing. But if you've got some specific issues, I might be able to help with that. And you feel free to DM me anytime. And oh, by the way, that reminds me, I want to be available to you guys. I want to be available to all my followers. So what I'm going to do in the next couple of days is I'm going to make a special late night email address that anybody can use to contact me. And I think it's going to be late, I haven't done it yet, but it's going to be late night at taiwanlive.tv. And in a couple of days, I'm going to make the account. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Taiwan phone number in the late night group so you guys can contact me on WhatsApp. But that's for the folks that live outside North America. But I also have a North American number that you guys can call. And Rob and I have talked a few times on the phone, so he knows that. But I've got a North American number. It's actually from New Hampshire. And if you're calling on a mobile phone, then there's no long distance. So, you know, and don't worry about it if you can't, don't worry about calling me, because I have it set not to ring if it's, you know, if I'm asleep, that kind of thing. So, but I want to make myself more available to you guys. in case you have questions like this. I don't mind consulting at all about stuff like this. But Mike's talking about the ringing. I think what he means is, I think he's got something in the room that's operating sympathetically with the sound energy. Okay, good, thank you. Thanks, Bernardo. Sympathetically with the, I got to tell you, one studio I did a lot of work in a long time ago. Well, right now, Twitter DM is okay, but at some point, I mean, Twitter is a really weird place to be. And you don't have to be all anything to understand what's going on. It's just a weird place to be. And I would like to find something, I'd like to find some other kind of text communication system that we can all use. Now, I've had a couple good suggestions. Eric suggested Telegram, which is really nice, but you know, everybody has to install it. And I don't know if it works on iOS or not. But then Henry had a really good idea, Google Hangouts. Now, I'm not a real big fan of Google Hangouts, but here's the thing. Right now we're using YouTube, so everybody has a Google account. So you can use Hangouts and it works on iOS. So maybe, I'm thinking, I'm not necessarily thinking of, you know, the best app in functionality. What I'm thinking about is the best app in convenience. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the thing to do might be to transition over to Hangouts, just because, you know, it's not Twitter. But it is Silicon Valley, so it may just be, you know, jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. I don't know. I have Allo. Yes, I have Allo. But it's not catching on. People really aren't, you know, I think I missed a comment. Okay, no, I didn't. Excuse me, I didn't. People really aren't catching on with Allo. I don't know why. Who knows? But yeah, they got the new app. I do have it. I don't know what to tell you. I do have it. Okay, I was going to tell you about this other thing. There's a studio that I used to do work out of. It was a small 8-track studio. This was like the late 70s, you know. There are too many apps doing basically the same thing, yeah. I like Line, but it's not for everybody. But Line is very consistent between iOS and Android, and it works really, really well. But, see, I'm kind of reluctant to ask everybody, okay, all my followers install this app, you know. Of course, you know, we had to do that with Broadcast already. You know, everybody's installed Twitter and Periscope. And the thing about YouTube is at least it ships with most phones nowadays, you know, at least the Android phones. So, yeah, I'm totally open. I'm not rigid about it, but I'm thinking, you know, Google Hangouts, because everybody already has a Google account, and it's not that invasive. But that's just, you know, that's something for the future. Anyway, this 8-track studio at the end of the 70s that I used to work at, had in a room offside the main recording studio, had a small little storage room, and there was a metal locker. You know, the kind of door, you know, you open the door, you open the handle of the doors, and you swing the doors out, right? They swing out. And when the doors were swung out, I remember one time there was some guys, they're getting ready to cut something. We needed something out of the cabinet. And they were rehearsing, they were going over the tune before we were going to roll tape. And as they were playing it, the doors were going like, and making a sympathetic, you know, vibration, a reverb. And we actually put contact microphones on there like we would put on the surface of an acoustic guitar. And we turned it into plate reverb. It was amazing. Those doors. We started leaving the door to the storage room open, the door to the lockers open, and put contacts on them, and brought cables, you know, put them on preamps, brought cables into the console in the other room, and used that for a reverb chamber. I'm not sure, Mike, exactly what you're talking about when you say you get ringing with everything off. There may be something in the room that has a resonant frequency that's close to the frequencies that you're using. And, oh, I got an error. Health is bad. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. Okay, sorry about that. You may have to set up a loop, an audio loop, and just go around the room and listen everywhere that you could listen until you find it. It could be the door on a fuse panel. It could be anything. So, you guys still with me? Shows we got three viewers. You guys still with me? All right. Pouring one more bit of this here. You guys still with me? You understand what I'm saying about the sympathetic? It's called resonance. The sympathetic retransmission of energy. Oh, I dropped my cap. Okay, good. Yeah, randomizing is what you want to do. The walls that face each other, you want to randomize one. So what happens is when the sound hits it, it disperses. It goes off in different directions. See, it forms a standing wave, like ping pong, that goes back and forth. And you can actually hear it. You can hear it going like that. In any square room, there's always a dead space in the very center. Is where it cancels. You put like a white noise in your speakers, and you walk around the mic until it's in the center. So here's some cats singing in the background. Yeah, that's the karaoke room. Now they've been remarkably silent between songs. So, and there's at least one woman and one man in there. So I don't know what's going on. I don't hear anything else. So they could just be looking through songs and smoking cigarettes. Who knows? Oh, what about the amount of time that the message stays on the screen? Is that long enough? Should it be longer? What do you think? I thought it was invasive, but I also can leave it on the screen. There's an option for the comments not to fade out, to stay on the screen and just scroll up and disappear. You know, they'll hit the wall and then disappear. But I thought it would be invasive to other forms of, you know, other things that I would show on live stream to leave them on there. So let me know if you think they're long enough. Mike, try hanging just, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything beautiful, but a piece of carpet or any piece of material or cloth in the corners of the room, and see how that does for deadening it. That's a really, really quick way to deaden the room. And then put stuff on the wall. You can glue stones on the wall, you know. You can glue pieces of styrofoam, plastic, anything you want that has random shapes, and just so it shatters, particularly high frequencies. When it hits, you want it to shatter. Another thing people do is they put slats on the wall. On your TV, the commenter's name is chopped off. Okay, that might be the way the app displays on the TV. What I had to do with my TV boxes, I had to calibrate the width to make sure that it wasn't too far out and cut off. So yeah. When I look at the app, when I look at my replays on my phone, it's perfect. And when I'm looking at it on my phone now, I can see it on the stream, and it is there is a gap over here. It's a nice gap. So I think it's just a matter of calibration, but I know what you mean. Oh, slats. Sometimes people put wooden slats on the wall, and they leave spaces. They leave, and the slat width is all random, and the spaces between them is all random too. So you might leave a wide gap or a narrow gap, and you can do those kinds of things. And that just tends to not reflect back to you in the same way that a flat wall would reflect. It ends up being, it's to the audio, it's looking like this. So that's what you want to do. But yeah, check out LEDE, live in, dead end. Check out Haas. This is another thing too. You want to check out the Haas zone, Haas. That's he's a famous acoustician. I believe he was a PhD. Dr. Haas, I think, but I'm not sure. Haas, Haas. Another guy, fascinating read about audio. And modern recording studios have reflectors in the back that work in what they call the Haas zone, the 5 millisecond zone, that gives the pinna of your ear something to push against so you can hear the stereo image. Modern recording studios have a stereo center image that's the width of the console. It used to be that the stereo center image was only in the center. And we used to joke, you can always tell the producer from the engineer, because the producer has the bump on this side of his head when he goes like this, and the engineer goes and has this bump on the right side when they all try to put their heads together to listen to the center of the mix. Well, these days, okay, welcome back, Henry, thanks. These days, studio designs are so sophisticated that the stereo image walks all the way across the length of the console. So you can be sitting all the way at the other end and you've got a perfectly balanced stereo image. You go in the center, it's perfectly balanced, and you go to the other end and it's still perfectly balanced. You can have a 2 meter wide or more aperture where the stereo image is balanced. And that has to do with Haas zone reflections. Seen the open cell foam rubber on walls? Yeah. Yeah, well, that's one thing that you can do. I'm just trying to think of things you can do that won't cost you a lot of money. You know what I mean? If you can just buy Sonex, Sonex, if you want to, and make, like, if you've got a room like this, just make 2 walls Sonex, right? Just make these 2 walls Sonex, and they won't reflect on the other walls. Studio that I worked out of in New York, my friend, he had random pieces of styrofoam glued to the ceiling just to shadow the high frequencies and randomize the room. Oh yeah, which is why I'm really big on the audio processing that I use. When you see me do the music from my studio, especially using the TC Helicon, yeah, the stereo panning on that is incredible. Oh yeah. So, well, at least they're still here. They haven't gone yet. Yeah. So, any other specific questions you might have on that kind of stuff? To treat a room, it doesn't take a whole lot of money, and just think about 50%. Hard, 50% soft, 50% reflective, 50% absorptive. Because you want the room to sound natural. If you make an anechoic chamber and it's all dead, you can't do everything in that room. You can do things that only work in a dead room. So if you've got a 50-50 room that sounds natural and normal, and it's not too live, it's not too dead, then you can do anything in it. You can do anything that you want because it'll sound natural when you place an instrument or a singer or whatever the source is that you're recording in that room. It'll sound natural if it's 50-50. This room here is a little bit too bright. They got all these hard walls here, and on the other side, on the other side it's hard too, and they got the karaoke machine here. See, and that's it. But that's all they got. There's nothing else in here. There's nothing else in this room except the sofa. I mean, the sofa's here, but that doesn't really encourage breaking up the high frequencies. What they should do is one wall acoustic foam, at least. Maybe the back wall. But what they did in this room was they sandwiched soundproofing material in between. So the rooms are soundproof. You can't hear outside the room very well, like outside in the street. You really can't hear it. You can hear from this room to that room because they didn't make the space between these rooms soundproof. They made the space between this room and the outside soundproof. See what I'm saying? There's stuff in here, but there's not stuff in that wall. Oh well. I wouldn't have done that way, but that's just how they did it. I mean, you guys hear that, right? Sounds terrible. Goodness. Anyway. So Mike, what size room are you recording in? What's the size of the room? Oh, look at that. What size room are you recording in, Mike? And we can maybe talk about room size. Certain famous songs, it's funny, when I listen to them, I can hear how they're recorded. And if you listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, Brian May's guitar solo, it's a tiny, tiny little room. It's an ISO booth with a mic right up against the amp. You can tell because it's just super close to it, but it sounds great. Can't complain. Room was 20 by 12. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. See, you can make a live end, dead end. You could put a carpet in one half of the room on the floor. You can put Sonics on the far end. And on the other end, you know, you can just randomize it a little bit with a bunch of, you know, pieces of styrofoam block. And, yeah. So next time Caspar is over here in Taiwan, karaoke stream, that's a good question. Caspar and I have been talking about that because he really liked it when John Ho and I and Jevons went upstairs last year, or I guess it was the year before. And I got to talk with John. I think John Ho's coming too, which would be the third time he's been here and third time I've seen him. I hope John comes here. I love John. He's a great guy. I hope John comes here. I want to give him a big hug. And I'm hoping Jevons will come too. But yeah, they want to go down, you know, to Win-Win's, right? To the classic, the iconic, you know, window with the red writing on it, right? And Win-Win knows they're coming, and she's all psyched about it. But upstairs, in either place, either the coffee shop or in her place, they've got two karaoke rooms in either place. So yeah, Bernard remembers that stream, right? Thanks, Mike. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to be streaming on this channel, and those comments are going to burn. So yeah, and the good part about YouTube is, I don't know if you know this, if you put your earphones in, it's in stereo. If I go over here like this and I'm talking on this mic, you hear it closer on this side, and the reverse is true if I go over there. So it's in stereo. YouTube Live is stereo. That's one thing I like about it. So I'll confirm that with Caspar. But yes, I already told my wife I'm going to be out all night, but don't worry. We are going to, and the thing is Yuka's going to be here too. And so we'll get some Japanese songs. We'll have to get Yuka to sing some Japanese songs. But yeah, John will sing some Chinese songs if you want. And guys are I know they're gonna rope me into singing some stuff too, some English songs. But seriously, it's only about 2 weeks from now. It's the 14th. It's on a Sunday, and so yes, the answer is yes. We're gonna do a karaoke stream. I'm not sure what time they're gonna get here though, and I have to make sure that I got everything cleared because I read to my kid every night. It's very important to me, so I'm gonna read to her earlier for the night. And let mommy give her a bath and put her to bed, and I'll sneak out and go out down there, and we'll have some kind of food for you guys to look at. And we've got to figure out which karaoke room we want to go in, because I think there's going to be about altogether probably 8 or 9 people. So yes. Now, if you guys remember that stream, it's still available on Periscope in my Periscope account. Those streams are still available. When was up there trying desperately to connect it with Facebook. Now, the thing is, now they have Facebook Live. So, oh, was it? Oh, did you hear that? Okay. Are you wearing earbuds, Mike? You wearing earbuds? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. A lot of people don't realize that when they're looking at YouTube Live that it is in stereo. So, you know, maybe you can watch on somebody's Periscope stream. Okay, speakers. Okay, but anyway, you got stereo speakers on the TV, right? So anyway, you can be listening on my YouTube stream, but watching somebody else's. It may not sync up, but we're going to have probably a record number of streams going on. The neighborhood's going to be shut down because of the number of internet connections at the cell site. But seriously, yeah, you know, there's going to be Caspar and JL's friend. There's going to be John, Yuka, me. I think Jebs is coming down. I'm not sure about John Sabot, but we're going to have a bunch of people down. And so, yeah, there's going to be all these live streams going on. It should be, well, to coin a phrase, it should be epic. Yeah, it should be epic. So, all right. So let me ask you this, Mike. On your television, when I go over here on this side, is this on the left channel on the television, or is it the right channel? I think it's the left channel. I'm really digging this. I mean, stereo, high res, comments burning, you know, to the stream, and low latency. You gotta love it. You gotta love YouTube Live. No trolls. Look at this. It's great. I don't have the views that I have on Periscope, but that's not the point. Now, the other thing about talking about Periscope and about live streaming, I have a clamp. So I've got a gimbal, and the gimbal is basically a stick with a cradle that holds the phone, right? Now, the stick part, I've got a clamp that will clip onto the round part of the gimbal and hold my iPhone on the gimbal. You won't have the stabilization of the gimbal, but I could stream to my Periscope, you know, my Twitter Periscope account on my little iPhone at the same time that I've got this phone in the gimbal. That might be interesting. That might be a good way to do it. Just to try to get the maximum exposure going, you know what I mean? Yeah, that might be it. So, and I'm looking at the looking at all this stuff here, just making sure everything's okay. We got a good stream, so. Oh my goodness. Let me talk about that in a second, Bernardo. Let me do this. Mike says, the stereo speakers do my chair. Okay. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Well, Mike, when I was talking over here on this side, was it on the left side or the right side? All right, Bernardo, you bring up an interesting point. I suppose if I wanted to, of course I'd have to do it. I could go to WinWin's and I could take a photograph of all the pages, or I might be able to just borrow the book and scan them on my scanner. All the pages of the English songs. And I could make them available, and you guys could look at them and decide which songs that we want to sing. In English now, because the thing is, right, I mean, the Chinese books on the left, okay, cool. It was on the left. I mean, you know, this is, you know, okay, this is Chinese here. Chinese, oh my goodness. It's just like, you know, you can, Oh, these are Japanese songs here. This is Japanese. Japanese. All right, let me show you the English songs here. I'm gonna tip this down. So there's one. I'm pretty sure this is the same book Win has. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So it's 9 pages. 9 pages. Stage left, yes. And yeah. Okay, now most of the songs are kind of older, but it works. What is this? This is small. This is these are the Taiwanese songs. Where they got this much. This is Taiwanese songs. Taiwanese songs. And yeah. Thai soul. This is so it's country music. Your boss is calling, okay, country music. And yeah, they got stuff that I don't even know what it is. Anyway, crazy. Win is pretty happy with me because I been doing her menus for her and stuff, and been promoting her place. I put her place on Google Maps. So if I told her I wanted to come up there and I wanted to photocopy all her English songs, it wouldn't be a problem. Now, the last time I did, you mean the last time I did music on YouTube? It's been a while. It's been quite a while. The good news is I've been sticking to a pretty regular schedule of rehearsing, so I'm getting back in shape, especially my voice. So we could do stuff, but here's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about, and I don't know why this should be an issue, but I'm worried about these copyright hits. And when I'm using the MIDI files, they sound ridiculously close to the original. So I just don't want to get hit with, I don't want to get hit with these, whoops, sorry about that. Distracted with work, I understand. I don't want to get hit with these copyright hits, but anyway. Yeah, we could do some. What I probably should do is put a list out of stuff that I can do and let you guys pick that too. We could do that. I like doing tributes. I like doing tributes a lot. And one guy that I think was really great was Davy Jones from the Monkees. All around nice guy, genuinely talented. I could do 1 or 2 of his songs. I know you guys think it might be corny. But see, you gotta respect the guys that do what they do without being temperamental and without being, hateful. Some of these recording artists, and especially in the in the rap world, I mean, some of them are just nasty, Oh, I know, I do believe it. And the thing is, whenever I'm looking for something, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't use Spotify. If I'm looking for a song, I go to YouTube. Somebody's uploaded it. Is that wrong? Matt, I've got an unbelievable version of Daydream Believer on my MIDI keyboard. And when I use the TC Helicon and do the background vocals with it, I could definitely do that. That was a great song. It's a great song. The funny thing is, they were a contrived band Don Kirshner put them together for the TV show, right? I know, what a great tune. I'm pretty sure that was written by Boyce and Hart. But you know, for a contrived band, people called them the Prefab Four. That was so funny. They could sing, and they could play. They were forced at the beginning to use session players and then just, you know, walk in and sing. But Mickey Dolenz, the man can sing. He can sing his tail off, you know. Davy Jones can sing too. It is a great song. It's a fantastic song. You know, let me look and see if that's here in the English songs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is. I don't think it is because I don't remember seeing it. Okay, that would be in the D's, obviously. Wait a minute. Oh, these are stuck. I was going to say, hold on. Nope, it's not in there. That would be a great song for the karaoke machine. That would be a fantastic song. Oh well. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer? Karaoke machine, yep. Great song. All right, I'll tell you what, I'll plan that. Now, I got songs going back to the 60s. I got a really, really cool version of Incense and Peppermints on my mini machine. You know, and all you got to do is play the guitar with a really, you know, fast vibrato. You know, you can do that. But maybe we should break stuff up into like 60s, 70s, 80s. Of course, there's no sense in going beyond the 80s because everybody knows, as far as music goes, the 90s sucked. And beyond that, the only song that came out in the 90s that I liked was I've Been Thinking About You. Remember that song? London Beat? Seriously. Not much going on in the 90s. My stuff, I recorded in the 90s, but it was 80s genre. Right, we're winding down to the end. 90s was a cutoff. Thank you, Mike. It was. It was. I have a whole set of Queen stuff. Some of the Queen stuff is impossible to do even with the TC Helicon by yourself. It's just, there's just too much going on. But there are a number of Queen songs that I could do. I should do a Queen set. But let me do a couple tunes from the 60s. Do you remember? Here's another tune. If you like Daydream Believer, you probably would like Bend Me, Shape Me. Remember that song, Bend Me, Shape Me, Any Way You Want To, Long As You Love Me, It's Alright. Remember that song by The American Breed? I've got a really good version of that too. And I'll tell you what else I got. On my mini machine, I got some great Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. Oh, 5 seconds isn't bad. That ain't bad at all. 5 seconds is good. I got some Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. I've got a really good version of like Woman, Lady Willpower. I think that's my favorite one. And Young Girl. I think Lady Willpower is my favorite one. I could do Lady Willpower for you guys. So we could do a short 60s, you know, set on YouTube. Then do the 70s. And then get into my favorite, the 80s. What do you think? You hear it? We're done. That's the end for tonight. Oh, I don't believe it. They started a tune, then they killed it. I don't know. Anyway. Thanks, you guys. It's time to go. Yes, I do. I do remember Air Supply. They could really sing. They really could sing. Yeah, they were good. It's time to go. Thanks so much for joining. It's been a pleasure having you here with me tonight here in Taiwan at T's place. It's been a lot of fun. So, thank you very much, Matt. You guys take care. That's not a punch in the jaw. That's a fist bump. You guys know what I'm talking about. Boom. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Bernardo. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody. Thank you. My sentiments exactly. We'll see you guys next time. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to talk to Win-Win, and I'll look at Win-Win's songbook. If it's the same as T's, I can borrow T's because I live across the street from T, and I'll just borrow T's and I'll scan them, and then I'll put them in a big PDF file and let you guys download it and decide what songs that you want us to sing. I think that'll work out okay. You guys take care. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.